What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Colton Steiner, and this is my buddy, Sean Adkins. Now, we're starting this podcast, and I'm just gonna state right out of the fact this is our first episode, so I guarantee there's gonna be some what's the right words for it? Some fumbles of words and some interesting glitches we may have. Because
Yeah.
honestly, we're all just testing this out, seeing how this format works for the podcast and how this. Because I got to switch between screens and stuff, so it's going to be interesting. We don't have a crew; we're not professionals, so hold us a little bit of slack there. But yeah, we're going to be talking about a couple of things today. And first off, we're going to be today. We heard the horrible passing of Alex Trebek. And I
Yeah.
thought we might as well talk about it a little bit because he was an iconic game show host and honestly an iconic individual. So, Sean, did you ever watch Jeopardy as a kid or like
Oh
a
my
lot as a
gosh.
kid or
Yeah.
much recently?
Oh yeah. Every every night, like 7:30, it would come on here where I live, and I would sit down with the family and watch Jeopardy. And sometimes it was annoying, but it was kind of a family. It was a family tradition, and yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's crazy. That show's been on for what?
35
30
years.
40
yeah,
years, 40,
I thought it was
35 years?
I think it was 35 years.
Yeah,
I could
that's
be
crazy.
wrong though, but that's crazy because I think it started in 84, 85. But don't
Wow.
count me on that because yeah, it's crazy how much of an impact he's made over the years, not just on Jeopardy, but the game show industry. Because he created a standard that is almost impossible to live up to. And what everyone's obviously the passing is tragic, horrible, but now you come to a thing to the crossroad. How do you replace him, or do you
Yeah.
replace him?
No,
Because
no,
it's
nope.
it's just it's too hard to do because he was that iconic. Now,
Yeah, I wouldn't replace him. I would just
No.
stop the show right there.
Yeah,
I mean, Jeopardy,
it's
it's got, like you said, it's gone for 35 years. Only Alex Trebek can do that show. Only,
yeah,
only him.
only him. Now, for me, I never really got into Jeopardy. I was always a Wheels of Fortune kind of guy. Now-
You're the 7 o'clock guy.
I was a 7 o'clock guy because we'd have supper at 6:30, finish around 7, watch a little bit of Wheels of Fortune, and because I could never get any questions right on these on Jeopardy, so I would
Yeah.
always get I could get a lot more in Wheel of Fortune than I could in Jeopardy, but
Yeah.
it was still fun to always try my hand and see how we could see if I could get anything in that because when you look at all the questions they would ask, most of the stuff I would say 95% the common normal person would not know. Now,
Yeah.
when you look at Alex Trebek, the way he presented it, it's not just like the fact that he was good at the job, but the way he presented all the questions and the way he interacted with the contestants was
Yeah.
another level that nobody else can match.
Yeah, and you may think like that. Some people may think, oh, he was just reading off stuff. He was just doing, basic script stuff. Nah, Alex Trebek had that persona of just being Alex Trebek. I mean, you really can't. I mean, he was, like you said, he was an iconic character. So
Yeah, and I was actually when you think about it, when they did that Tournament of Champions, how big that was for Jeopardy because it wasn't just the contestants there made a lot of money. It was Alex Trebek was just the way he interacted with all of them was just so fun, and
Yeah, he was happy.
The whole thing was fun, and I was over at a friend's house like a week or so ago, maybe a little bit longer, and we were all talking about the day Alex Trebek would pass would be one of the saddest days in game show, and honestly, in one of the saddest days in like of the year or in the decade. I mean, it reminds me of the day. I'm trying to think of. I can't even do it because I can't remember another game show host that lived up to this this standard. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
incredible. And we just want to pay before we heard this today. It happened today that he passed away peacefully
Yeah.
at his home. I believe he was surrounded by family, but yeah, I thought we would take a little bit, talk about what the impact he made on us, the game show world. And yeah, it's just absolute iconic individual. Now, something I want to talk about next as we move along is tech news. And when we look about tech news, AMD has just released a great lineup of processors. Now, when did they announce that they were going to release these, and did we expect them to be this good? Yeah, that's for you. You're more knowledgeable than me.
Well, I mean, let's say Zen 3 was like announced. Oh, what do you say? Not I forget how long ago. It wasn't that long ago, but I kind of hoped it was going to be this good, because if it wasn't, it would tick off a lot of fans. I mean, a lot. The whole tech area kind of relied on that, and it was a pretty big event. So far, we're getting a 20% increase compared to Zen 2, their last architecture, with the 3700X, 3800X, 3950X, and 39 whatever X. So many of them. But so far, we're actually getting a lot better improvements, and they took the crown as the gaming king processor, at least for now. So that is huge for AMD, because AMD hasn't been like that since I think there was the Phenom 2 days. I think it's been a decade.
Yeah, I always remember, because Intel has been like, they've been the standard. They're like, you have to live up to Intel, I believe. Am I right there? Like the i9, i7, or am I talking graphics cards? So see, this is the problem where I get into. I don't know that much about tech news, so you're the expert there. But Intel
I would call myself an expert. I'm just
you're more knowledgeable than me. So
yeah.
But yeah, when you think about AMD, the progress they've made just over the last 5 years, I mean, it's been just remarkable. I mean, Go ahead.
I mean, Linus from Linus Tech Tips, he shared a post on Twitter a couple days ago, and he was talking about how this article was talking about how AMD was going to be on the brink of bankruptcy in 2020, and now look at them. I mean, they are swimming in money. They literally have the best processors you can buy today. And I don't know. It's just an amazing thing that happened. I mean, it's all thanks to, I guess, Lisa Su, the CEO of AMD. She literally saved that company from going under. And so, I mean, that's what I run in my computer, Ryzen 7 3700X.
I mean, I have a Ryzen 5, and I will, like, when you get the new, what is it? You're getting the next Ryzen 7, the 5800.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So then I'm gonna move up from my Ryzen 5 to get the Ryzen 7, the previous gen, because I like running it, my computer. Down the line I do hope to build a better computer, but for the most part, like, I don't know, my computer works pretty good, but my graphics card really needs improved. And when I look at what AMD plans to release on December 2nd, no, not AMD, NVIDIA. Because I was looking at AMD beforehand, and then I was looking at NVIDIA, and NVIDIA's graphics card, man, they look really promising. They look really promising.
Yeah, you just can't get any stock.
That's ridiculous. That's the problem. What was it? The 3800 or 3900?
3080, 3090?
Yeah, 3080, 3090. That's insane.
Oh my gosh. It's like, I was lined up. I've been literally lined up for 2 months. Has it been 2 months now?
Yeah, I believe so. It's been
a
about
month and a half or 2 months or something like that, whatever. But I've literally been lined up trying to give a company $800. Like, it should not be hard to give my money to a company.
Especially it really
$800 worth. Like, come on.
Well,
I get COVID. I get stuff like that. I get if you don't have stock. I get if you don't have inventory. But at least, like, give us a pre-order system. Like, I shouldn't have to sit in front of my computer after work on my lunch break, hitting F5,
just
to see if I can get stock, just to see if I can get my card. I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's insane because you would think that they'd be like, okay, we have enough we have enough in stock so that we're not going to get too backed up, right? but it wasn't even a second. Like, that's a problem. Like, right when it was at 9 o'clock is when it became on sale, and immediately it was sold out. It wasn't even it wasn't even a second after 9 o'clock, and you couldn't even get any.
Oh yeah, I was one of those people at 9 o'clock, like sitting there, and like I hit F5, and Best Buy went from coming soon to sold out, and I'm like, what the fluff, man? I'm like, I want my card. I mean, okay, like I get, they're gonna sell out the first day. I mean, that's obvious. It's happened every single time. But 1 second,
and
like, come on.
You would think by now they would have it under control, right? Like,
yeah.
Have they gotten it under control, or have they been able to?
No, like, I can't get a 3080. I can't get a 3070. I can't get a 2080 Super. I can't get a 2070 Super. I can't even get a 2060 Super.
That's insane.
Like,
that's
literally
absolutely insane.
Literally, the only two cards I can buy right now, if I go to Best Buy or Micro Center, is a 5700 XT or lower, or a 1660 Super. Yeah, 1660 Super or lower. Everything else is completely out of stock.
Now, when I was looking to upgrade my GPU, the 5700 XT was one of the ones I was looking at. But it seems to me that the price of that has gone up tremendously. Am I right there? Because I don't remember it being up near $400 a little while ago.
The XT, I think it's always kind of been around there. You might be thinking of the regular 5700, and not an XT version of it.
So I may be thinking of the regular 5700, but because was it the fact of the matter that they're able to sell out that fast, and it's just insane. And the sad thing is, you have those scalpers out there that have them, and
that's where they're going.
And
I mean, I go on eBay and I find 3080s all day long for almost $2,000, and I'm like,
insane.
You got to be kidding me. Yeah, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Like,
we'll get our cards eventually. Like, I don't need one, but like, it's frustrating. Like, I can't. It's been a month and a half, 2 months, and I cannot. There's no stock. There's no pre-order system. There's no queue.
Yeah,
come on.
I mean,
Apple was able to dish out iPhone 12s. Why can't I get a graphics card?
They dish those things out like candy. I don't know how they're able to do that so fast.
Yeah.
But when I'm looking at the future in the 3060, I guarantee I won't be able to get that on opening day if it's the way things are going now, because everything, if things happen like they did on the 3080 and the 3090, it's going to be sold out before I can even check out. I mean, before you even click a button, because then you have to check out and then hit billing information, go through all that. At that point, you're just wasting your time because it's
even on these launch days and stuff like that. Like, I literally created the accounts on multiple websites. I was prepared. I created the accounts. I entered all my billing information, all that stuff, and I had like a one-click ordering for the credit card or whatever. Everything should have been one click. And every single website I did was completely out of stock. It was impossible. Like, a normal person could not have got one that day.
Yeah, it
sucks.
So when I'm looking at the hard thing is, how do you fix that? Like, do you just have to have better security for those systems, or better? I mean, it's just a hard thing to grasp. Maybe talk to Apple about how they're able to manage their releases. But
well, first of all, Apple has a queue system to pre-order. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm 99% sure they have a queue system. Second of all, none of these websites, none of them, like NVIDIA, EVGA, Newegg, B&H, and I can't think, Amazon, I think, maybe, I don't know. None of them had CAPTCHAs. None of them have any anti-bot features. You could just go straight through, and if you were a bot of, well, not if you were a bot, but if somebody had a program bot or whatever, they were able to just grab it and go. And us humans didn't have a chance. I mean, a simple CAPTCHA would have at least made the stock last 30 more seconds, other than one.
Hey, those 30 more seconds are crucial. Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, actual people getting hands on their cards versus not,
It's when I look at what they're able to do to produce these cards, like, they're great cards and great chips, but when you go to trying to sell them, that's like trying to make something impossible. That's a crazy thing. They can make these amazing products, but can't even sell them properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And it blows my mind. But hopefully this next gen Radeon, these 6700 XT and the 6800 or no, sorry, 6800.
yeah.
Oh, I was right. 6700. Whatever. The next generation of Radeon
I feel that
is able to be at least in hands of actual customers and not scalpers. So
yeah.
So that's that.
I'm excited about the future because right now when we're looking at on all these progress they've made on GPUs and CPUs, and I mean you can run like when you think about it, 4 years ago, like I had just gotten an Alienware. What was my Alienware? Do you remember? Because I bought it off you, and was it an i7?
No.
No.
It's an Alienware Alpha. It was one of those console.
Yeah. I just
replacements. It's an Intel Core i3, like 3rd or 4th gen i3.
I was
so it's like dual core, I think, back then.
The funny thing is, that wasn't even my worst computer. My worst computer, looking back, was my laptop. I don't even remember what the graphics are.
It was some integrated thing.
Yeah,
crap.
It was crap. I would play ATS. I would be lucky. Incredibly lucky if I got 15 FPS in ATS.
Most of the time, you were cruising around in 5.
Yeah, and 90%.
You were literally a PowerPoint.
It was insane. Because, and I could never go on the interior mode too. I could never do it because I would have like a 5 to 10 drop in FPS. So I would always have to go into the exterior mode. And it's so loud. You got the air going too from the wind, and it was just a pain to do because no matter how much I gamed, and I got a good amount of gaming. I played some Spin Tires. I played some ATS. What else was it? Played some Counter-Strike on there, but
that played a few hundred hours of Counter-Strike on that.
That's for sure. But when I'm looking at how I improved from the laptop to the Alienware, it was a major step up because and not even like the Alienware, it wasn't like, it was good. I'm not gonna diss on the Alienware, but it was still not top tier. I mean, it was good gaming. I could actually game on ATS for what was that, 30 or 40 frames?
No, it depends. Like you could get 60. You could get it around 60 there. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good computer.
At the time it was like nowadays I wouldn't use it. I did have to upgrade now. It's kind of funny now because you look at them like hard drives like SDD and a HDD hard drive, SSD, not SSD. Good lord, I can't even talk. So you have the SSDs who nowadays you can get a 500 gigabyte SSD for like what, $180, $80 somewhere in there, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
I bought mine for $140, and I thought that was a steal of a deal because at the time it was. But man, those SSDs, man, they're insane. And when I look at SSDs nowadays, it's like the console gen is way behind because like you look at PS5, the entire hype around it was that it was gonna have an SSD in it. Now,
it does.
Like, why didn't you guys think about this earlier?
Oh, you're talking before. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
so like
PS5 and the Xbox, right now they are putting a hurting on the computer market because their SSDs are insanely fast, and the fact that you can have multiple games open at once and go and be able to switch between these games instantly it blows my mind. Like on the Xbox Series S or X, let's say I'm in Forza Horizon 5, and let's say I want to climb into, I don't know, what's an Xbox game?
Halo, maybe? I don't know. Do they make
Halo?
Halo
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
If I want to switch into Halo, I literally just click a button, go to Halo, and 5 seconds I'm in Halo. Like, no computer right now can do that at all. Like that, and it'll pick up right where you left off as well, too. Like, I mean, if I'm paused in the middle of a race in Forza Horizon 5, and I'm right in line to blast someone in Halo or whatever you do in Halo, it'll left right off, or it'll be left right off there, and you can just resume and do whatever you want. It is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But why didn't they have this in the past? Like,
yeah.
SSDs have been out for a few years. Why didn't the PS4, PS4 Pro, and PS3 is kind of iffy?
Yeah, PS3. I mean, maybe the later versions of the PS3, but in PS4 definitely. I mean, when I look at my PS4, because I have PS3 and PS4, I still play a lot of I don't play a lot of PS3. The most games I play on the PS3 are NCAA football and NCAA basketball, and I have a PGA Tour game that I play. But for the most part, it takes forever for those games to load. It takes me like 5 minutes to get in, and then when I'm looking at the PS4, it's like it still takes me a while, but when it's going to be a big step when you look at the PS5. Going from the PS4 to PS5. Now, I won't get the PS5 for another couple years because when did the PS4 release? Was that 2013 or 2014?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, because when I bought it in 2008,
November 15th, 2013.
Okay, because I bought it I bought my PS4. It was a base PS4. It wasn't the Pro. It wasn't that, but it was $200, and I had also gotten the new Spider game with it. It was a Black Friday deal, and that was a steal. Now the PS5 that I'm looking at, it's releasing for $499. Am I right? Because there's two versions.
Yep.
There is the one with the disc, which is the more expensive at $499, and then the one where you don't have to deal with the disc, and that's $399. Me personally, I still like having the disc, because since they're finally somewhat backwards compatible for the first time ever, I would like to play some of the discs that I have on PS4 in there. But I think the biggest, when I'm looking at Xbox and PS4, the biggest thing that they finally got is somewhat of backwards capability. And I never know why they never tried to incorporate that in earlier gens.
Especially the Xbox. The Xbox can go back quite. I mean, I think you have to have Game Pass. Don't hold me to this, but I think you have to have like a Game Pass or something like that to go back, and you can play years, generations back of Xbox games, which is that's pretty cool. Like, I think that's how it all should be.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't need this upgrade thing to not be able to play something. Like, if I want to get rid of my original Xbox, which I wouldn't want to, but maybe some people will. I should still be able to play the original games on this next generation Xbox.
Yeah, like,
makes logical sense like that, you know.
I mean, when you look at PCs, like, heck, I have the old Battlefront 2 game for for Star Wars, and I can play that on my PC, but I can't play that on my new PS4, which I never could understand because I have the PS2 disc for Battlefront, or no, maybe I have the PS2. I have the old PS2 disc for it, but I can't play it on PS4, which I never understood why they didn't just make it available. I don't know if there's a certain tool that they need that they can't fit into the PS4, but I never understood why I could play this game on PC from like 10 years ago, but they can't do that just in the PS4 realm. Or PlayStation realm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just not too keen on the fact that it took them this long to actually get into it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad console's finally a viable option for gamers. Like, if you don't want to go out and spend $3 billion on a gaming computer, you can go out and spend $499 on one and actually get relatively pretty good performance. I mean, 4K, 100 plus FPS, ray tracing, that super fast SSD, which is crucial to any gameplay and any loading times, because the last thing I want to do is turn my console on and wait 30 minutes to load GTA 5.
Yeah, it's insane.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's a good year for, well, it's kind of a good year for gamers. It's a good year for gamers as the stuff's been released, but getting it in stock is another story. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understand what you mean, but yeah, I mean that I don't have much else on the tech news when we look at it, but Yeah.
Yeah, let me just add something here. We were talking about prices of PlayStation 5, and I'm looking at it right now on eBay. What's your guess?
PS5, you said?
Yeah.
Um, on eBay, you said.
Yep.
I'm gonna go 8.99. People are
Oh,
gonna
yep. You're right there.
really, really.
800, 900, 1,000, 999,
That
949.
does not surprise me because I was trying to think if they're gonna go like the 5.99. I'm gonna think like 50% higher, not the full 100% because obviously there's. I mean, they could try the full 100% increase in the price, but when you think about it, there's not that many people are going to get it. Now, if it's a couple hundred more, now they're being. It's just like that. I don't know why, but
It blows my mind that people actually buy that.
yeah,
It blows my mind. Like, if you're watching this, do not buy from scalpers. Like,
do not.
Seriously. Use your noggin.
Yeah,
You know?
it's
You
and
got
it's,
you got one of these. Use it.
wait a little bit too. Like you don't have to have it right away. That's the whole thing I like to do. Like, okay, is it great that you get it right away and you can try it out? Yes. But at the end of the day, waiting a couple months may actually help you on the price for a couple $100. I mean, instead of trying to buy it off scalpers.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it is what it
That's
is.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, that is all I have for tech news. I mean, I could talk about the iPhone 12, but
what's so good about the? Okay, I heard that the iPhone
here we
12 wasn't gonna be all that great, but when I look at the speed of it, it looks pretty good compared to like its competitors.
well, I mean, okay. If you have an iPhone 11 and you upgrade to the 12, I don't know why you would ever do that. I don't know why. But anyways, the main difference is 5G. I mean, that's huge for the iPhone 12. That's the whole reason you should ever get an iPhone 12, I guess, is if you really want the 5G. I could go on and on about this. I mean, it's up to you.
Oh,
You want me
yeah,
to go on
I'm
and on
fine
about
with it. Go on.
5G, in my opinion, is absolutely useless. I have no idea. Okay, that goes right to the title. I'm going to back up to here. You know what really grinds my gears? 5G. It is useless. Change my mind. Where's my coffee? Where's my coffee cup?
Change your mind.
That is the dumbest innovation I have ever seen. What we need to do is we need to establish a very good coverage LTE all over the United States, because there's a lot of people that don't even have coverage, and yet we're innovating this 5G thing to get what 2,000 megabits per second download. Who needs that on a cell phone?
And
Like, okay, let me just download Call of Duty Mobile in 5 seconds. Ooh, you know.
Ooh, I get to play it for 2 minutes and then I have to get back on the bus and leave. I mean, it's if most of these places are going to be in the city, and what are you really going to be doing in the city? Like if you're living in the city already, you're on Wi-Fi. Well, I mean, me personally, I assume city there's a lot better coverage in the cities when it comes to Wi-Fi. And what really would 5G, what kind of benefit would it give? I mean, if you're just going to be getting text, taking calls, stuff like that. It's really, in my opinion,
I gotta download Call of Duty Mobile, dude, 5 times. I gotta run my speed test and post it on social media because, you know, I got 2,000 megabits per second and you don't, peasant.
Peasant. Because at the end of the day, will it really matter? No, because 4G is still incredibly fast. I mean, what is it, 4G LTE? Am I right?
Yeah.
I don't use data. I mean, I'm on a very cheap cell phone plan where I get 1 gig of data a month.
Yeah.
and it costs $20. So when I look at people spending like give me unlimited data on 5G, I'm like, do you really need that? Because I really don't think it benefits you all that much.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's unlimited data on 5G. I think you have limited data on 5G, and then it switches over to LTE. I could be. Well, hold on. Let me just Google this just to be sure. 5G plans for. Oh, here's the earthquake. Verizon wireless. Okay, let's check it out. All right, 5G nationwide.
So I got.
It's probably somewhere in the fine print.
Yeah, I mean, 5G. I see all these like, in the there's a I mean, I live in the middle of nowhere, and the city closest to us, it's not that. I mean, they just incorporating 5G, and I'm like, okay, that's I don't really spend a lot of time on 5G. I don't even spend much time on 4G. So, and I'm never really making calls that much. I mean, which is kind of interesting considering I'm all over the place with my jobs.
No, this is what I get for not doing research prior to the podcast. But
this is the grinding gears.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't get unlimited 5G. I'm almost positive. I'll have to do some more research. Maybe we can revisit that subject next week.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, back to the iPhone. I mean, that's all you get. A little bit slightly better camera. I guess if you get the base model 12, you get OLED, the OLED screen. They've done away with the LCD screen, the 720p, but you don't really notice a difference at the screen that small. I could go on and on about that too. And that new design, which I actually like. I actually went to Best Buy yesterday and took a look at the iPhone 12, and it does remind me of the iPhone 4. The iPhone 4 was an iconic phone. I mean, I beat the snot out of that thing, and that thing still worked. And I kind of like to see the return of that design, but I just don't think it's worth spending the extra money to upgrade at the moment, especially when you got to add the 5G plan, I believe, and it's just not worth all of the
when I look at
hype it is.
When I look at iPhones in general, like, one, I don't think you should be taking out a finance plan on a phone. That's just my opinion, but paying $1,000 for a phone just seems a little excessive, especially if the one before it is just as good and it's cost a couple $100 less. Like,
that's some people just need the latest greatest stuff.
Like, in my opinion, I think it's a waste of money, and maybe it's just my cheap side of me just coming to the surface, because I have a $200 phone. I make calls on it, I get texts on it. I don't take really pictures on it because I have a DSLR camera, which I'm using right now, for the most part. But when I'm looking at the price of iPhone cameras, it's insane at the cost, and I don't know if especially like the advancements, it doesn't seem like there hasn't been much of a change going from the iPhone 11 to the iPhone 12, other than speed. Just to me, I mean, it's just that it seems that Apple is getting kind of lazy, in the sense of that. I don't know. I just think iPhone doesn't have any competitors, so they're kind of slacking off and just feeling like, you know what, we don't have to work to bring the latest and greatest thing. All we have to do is create a little faster phone, and people will buy the crap out of it. So I really don't know what else. I don't know, Android or Samsung, what they need to do to upgrade, to compete with Apple, because right now they can't even touch them, and then Apple's starting to get lazy, and everyone else decides
no competition. They're turning into Intel.
Freaking Intel up here, gonna get jumped up here.
No. But yeah, I mean,
iPhones have. They've gotten really good over the years, but the Apple's been getting pretty lazy recently, in my opinion, with creating the greatest phone.
Yeah, the innovation. Yeah, it's so innovative, revolutionary.
Revolutionary. But
I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to sit back and wait.
Yeah, I know we're talking about tech news. Well, we were talking about tech news, transferring to grinding gears, and I don't know. I'm moving on to what grinds my gears, if that's all right, and that is the national media. And what I'm talking about is Baker Mayfield. I've talked about it before, and actually not just Baker Mayfield, the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Cleveland Browns just failed to do a good job at the trade deadline after allowing, 200 some yards on the ground against Oakland, and it was an absolute bomb show that they played. The fact of the matter that they allowed Oakland to hold the ball for 37 minutes and only allowed the offense to have, what was that, 17 on the field. It was insane. And we're always eager to blame the offense for not showing up. And fair point. I mean, the offense, when you look at the game for the Browns, was drops by the receivers. But do you know what they immediately went to? I said this on my CSBR live stream, and like a lot of people tended to agree with me, was the fact that Baker Mayfield still gets the blame. 4 times. I looked back. 4 times on 3rd down, his receivers dropped the ball. Literally, not just figuratively dropped the ball. They literally dropped the ball. David Njoku dropped one. Well, okay, I would say Harrison Bryant, I wouldn't say he dropped the ball, but he fumbled when he just got inside the 30, opposing team's 30, gave them the ball back when we were driving really well. And then Jarvis Landry dropped a couple. One was a touchdown, and then David Njoku dropped a huge 3rd down catch. But aside from that, Baker Mayfield played a really good game at the, like, if you take all those drops away, maybe I'll give one drop. Give him one drop, but they shouldn't be dropping the ball because they're getting paid to catch a football. But
millions of dollars,
literally boatloads of money to catch a football. But it just grinds my gears how our quarterback, who's working his tail off to get his receivers the ball, and his receivers drop the ball, and then the national media comes out and just starts blaming him. I know Skip Bayless, I know Shannon Sharp, they were saying, oh, Baker Mayfield gets all the blame. Okay, how about the fact that our defense allowed Oakland on the field for 37 minutes and are, like, honestly, we got bailed out a couple times because the first touchdown for the Raiders that was called back was honestly a touchdown in my opinion. I thought it was a touchdown, but they overruled it, said it was not. They got the field goal, and just the fact that they were able to drive so easily and the missed tackles by our defense, when you look at overall, there are other things to worry about than the quarterback position. And the national media continues every week that the Browns play. Fortunately, the Browns were on a bye this week, so we didn't have to deal with any of that. But it just grinds my gears how everyone is quick to blame the quarterback and then quick to give it a team effort and a win. And it's just, if you're going to give the quarterback a crap on one weekend, give him props on the next weekend. Baker Mayfield threw 5 touchdowns against Cincinnati Bengals. The week before, they were saying he should get traded. Like, it just grinds my gears. I know you're a Packers fan, and you haven't had to deal with it. So, what, in your opinion, does the national media have to do, just in sports, need to improve on? Because I think I should probably slow down before I get pissed off anymore.
I think the media needs to focus less on money, getting clicks, because that's all this is. And not just sports, everything in general, just everything. And then all it is just a headline just to tick people off, make them click on the article so you can read their dumb advertisements and read their shoddy journalism. Like,
and when I look at all this stuff, like, a lot of my friends, my parents, and non-fans of the Browns say, why do you even listen to him? And it's not like, I know I shouldn't. I don't really try to listen to him, but it's just the principle that they're just trying to grind my gears. And not just in sports, but in general, like they say the craziest things, and it's like, okay, I went to college for journalism. I would call myself a good journalist because when I was at college, I would ask the right you got to ask the right questions, got to ask the right material to make every aspect of your story sound good. Not just try and get the clicks, try and keep them there. Because at the end of the day, if you're just going for the clicks, like the Browns fans, we don't pay attention to what else you have to say. And when it comes to the Browns, we know what you're going to say. So at the end of the day, they need to. I would say the last 7 weeks that the Browns have been on the field, I have been right every single time about what the media will say about them. They will say it was Baker Mayfield's fault. They won't give Baker Mayfield credit for winning the game. Both have happened. And they will say Odell needs to get out of Cleveland because he doesn't fit there. Now, while I do admit Odell might not be a good fit in Cleveland because I feel Baker does try and force him the ball, I do believe it gets annoying as all get out that they continue to have this rhetoric. And it's just, if you're going to talk about us, at least judge us on our defense too. So, yes, Baker Mayfield tries to force the ball to Odell several times a game and doesn't need to. But when you look at the overall team, there's more aspects we need to worry about than the quarterback position. But even though it's a quarterback, number 1 draft pick, he's obviously going to get the blame every time. But it just grinds my gears. And then you look at all these other, and I do believe it's because it's Cleveland. And
I was just about ready to say that. I was like, all these journalists are so used to reporting on Cleveland being so bad for so long that it's just second nature to them.
Yeah. They're not used to Cleveland being good. And when you look at the New York Jets, Sam Darnold has been absolutely terrible. And the national media hasn't said squat. And sure, he wasn't the number 1 pick, but he was a top 5 pick. Still, he shouldn't be. Was he the second? No, I believe Saquon Barkley was the second. He may have been the 3rd pick of the NFL draft. But still, people have been saying the Browns should have been drafted Sam Darnold. And I laugh at that because he has been so much worse than Baker Mayfield. And I want to say his stats are incredibly worse. And I don't know. It's hard for me to try and give the media any kind of room because of the crap that they say every week. And I don't know how we improve on this going forward, but we need to focus on the more positive notes rather than the negative notes. So say the Browns lose 14-7. So not a blowout, not a high scoring game. There's a lot of aspects that need to be looked at in those games rather than just on the offensive side. Defense, how many yards did they give up? How long did they allow the offense to have the ball? Were there missed tackles? Now, missed tackles need to be addressed too because those are in yards after contact. Because Josh Jacobs, the running back for the Raiders, he had out of his 120 yards, he had 95 yards after contact, which is right when the first person starts tackling him. 95 of his yards were just after the contact. And it blows my mind that the defense gets let off, and it kind of grinded my gears a little bit over the weekend how the Browns didn't make any trades before the trade deadline on Tuesday. So that's what grinds my gears. So yours was what? The iPhone 12. Mine was a continuous rant of the Cleveland Browns in the national media.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, it's just
no, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
it's just one of those
pretty
things.
Ridiculous.
I've been saving my energy for weeks now, and it just grinds my gears. And I try not to listen to it, but when they say continue to dog us, you've dogged us enough. Let us enjoy this a little bit. So oh man, yeah, this was fun. Grinding gears, talking crap about national media. Oh man, but yeah,
I mean, just sports media, but I mean, to kind of branch off that, just the media in general.
Yeah,
it's changed over the years. Like, I mean, I don't know. At least for me, maybe I'm too young. I mean, I'm not. I don't have years of experience of seeing the media and stuff, so I could be wrong. But it's changed. It's taken sides. It's focused on money. It's focused on clicks. It's focused on getting stuff out there, whether it's true or not. It's changed, and it's not good. It's kind of unfortunate because it causes a lot of people to grind their gears, and it needs to change. It needs to change, but it's not. And that's the reality of it. It's not going to change.
Yeah, and while the national media is one of the things that we all love to hate about, something we all can agree on is movies. Now, something I am hoping we get next year. I know COVID's a big issue right now, and I don't want to talk about that because, I mean, it is what it is. It's there, but it's postponing all these great movies, and I'm just hoping we're able to go out and see some movies next year, because there's a lot of movies that I want to see. Like
Yeah, Fast 9.
Fast
Are we on
9
that?
got, yeah, it literally got postponed a year from the day they released the trailer, which was absolutely epic. And then a week later, I'm trying to remember when they released the trailer. It wasn't much longer after they released the trailer that they announced that we'll be postponing the movie until next year. And then
January 31st, 2020.
January 20. Okay, so it was a little bit later, but yeah, I just really wish that we're able to see some movies, because I'm really hoping that we can see Black Widow, because I'm a huge Marvel guy, as everyone knows.
Ooh,
The new Top Gun Maverick. I am hyped for that, because I'm a huge fan of the original Top Gun, and that was my grandpa's favorite movie. And looking at Top Gun Maverick, it just looks amazing. I mean, I can't imagine what that's going to sound like in the theater, because there's movies that you can watch at home, and like they're at home movies, like comedies. I don't really think those are movies you see at the theater. Those are movies you can watch at home. But action movies and movies like Top Gun, the jet sounds around you, I can only imagine what that's going to feel like and what that's going to be, because it's just going to be so much fun. And I'm so excited for when we're actually able to go out and see movies, because when you look at the amount of the movie lineup for 2021, there's so many good movies. And I'm seeing, what is it? I don't know if there's like 4 Marvel movies coming out, 3 or 4 Marvel movies coming out next year. Then there are Morbius, Venom. I don't know if Venom 2 is coming out. I think I can't remember if Batman, the new Batman movie, is coming out in 2021 or 2022, but I know that's coming out in the next couple years. Then you got Spider-Man 3, you got Thor, you got there's probably a Star Wars movie they're going to release sometime that they haven't announced yet, but I don't know. It is what it is. I'm excited for movies. Movies are great.
Yeah. I'm excited too. It's been a while since I've been to a theater, and I don't know. It's kind of unfortunate a lot of these movie theaters, especially around us, have closed.
Yeah. Like,
all the Regal.
Regal is my favorite movie to go to. Favorite theater.
Oh.
Their chairs are great, and honestly, for me, because I go a lot to see movies, and I get a lot of their benefits. Like, if I go watch a movie, I get points, and that means I can get a discount on concessions or discount on a ticket. Most of the time, I use it for concessions to get like a small popcorn or something, and upgrade. I can upgrade it to a free small popcorn, and then I upgrade it to a large, and then that's $2. And then what I usually do is I pour the popcorn in a bag, share that with my family, go get a refill. There, we got popcorn for the entire family, and it's just I just miss that entertaining feel, and I'm very incredibly fortunate that Avengers Endgame was one that we got to witness in theaters, because oh my lord, if I had to wait 2 years to watch the outcome of Avengers Infinity War, I would lose my mind.
Yeah,
because the anticipation for Endgame was huge, and I don't think I'll ever experience a movie a theater experience like that again, because the cheering going on in that, you can go look up on YouTube too, because what those YouTube videos show is screams, and what those screams like people experience in other theaters, I experienced in mine, and it was just unmatchable. And I'm very excited for the future of movies, because right now there's a lot of great movies coming, but unfortunately we're all kind of stuck on pause, and hopefully COVID can get out of here quickly, and so we can open up our Regal cinemas, because I know they're shut down till April, at least till April.
At least, yeah. I mean, hopefully we can figure this out pretty soon,
Yeah.
because I would like to get back to somewhat normal.
Yeah, so me too, man. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. We are clocking in about 50 minutes. I know it's my goal was to get it around 50 minutes to an hour, and as we go throughout as we continue this podcast, we'll probably, I don't know, have more topics to talk about. I mean, hopefully, because COVID's kind of shut everything down where you can't really talk about anything else other than movies and I don't know, music. And music-wise, there's some artists release stuff. I'm a huge Luke Combs fan. He released 5 songs into a deluxe album, and yeah, they've been incredible songs that he set a record. He almost became the first, I don't know if it was the first country artist or the first artist in general to have a release on the Hot 100 and Hot Country 100. It was a country artist.
Oh, wow.
Have an album chart at number 1 and have a single at number 1 debut. I don't think that's ever happened but I think he got close to that in the sense that I think the single was at number 2 and not number 1. But yeah, we can always talk about music. I know more about country music. I guarantee that right now. I aside from everything else, country is my way to go. It's my bread and butter. But yeah, we'll gladly talk about tech news, entertainment news, sports news. As you guys heard my wild rants and our wild rants about tech stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the Grinding Gears podcast, and we're going to be clocking out and grinding our way back home. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.